Hello, I am Jody Wolf and you're watching Expoz, July 23, 2018. It's 2:11 a.m. and I meant to mention on the last blog, um, I did that one extended primarily for Jennifer M, by the way, and just want to thank you for watching. But I've got more I want to add to the last blog. And again, a real quick overview is a Venezuelan prepper looks back and says, these are the things I would have done different, much different. He said, you are doing it wrong. And he's talking about us here. Guys, I don't prep. To be honest, I do have food on hand. But what I have is what I'm going to tell you right here. And I think that this would help you is as good as having food on hand. And let me up this screen here. This is again the same guy. He's talking about the way things were or the way things are and still getting worse in Venezuela. And look, it's not only there, it's many other countries. It's just they're crashing and burning as we speak. But this, I'm sorry, this thing keeps going to commercial. And I don't want it to. But shut up. And you don't have a place to go because the situation, I'm left off right here, and daily living did not allow you to build a compound in a safe place that was large enough for being sustainable. Now, the situation gets worse every day. Now here, get this. I want you to hear this very clearly, and this will be worth its weight in gold, what I'm telling you right now. And a lot of you probably know it, but a lot of you don't. Prices. Now, this is when we're cashless society, almost, not quite. This is before, this is when the food is going to be laid out, proportioned to you and so forth. And your school's overrun with this crappy system they have that Trump has done away with. But anyway, just hear me on this. The situation gets worse every day. Prices in electronic paying via bank transfer are much higher than in cash. But it is impossible to get cash. Did you hear that? It's impossible to get cash. And he's referring back to that fan belt that you need. I don't know what he makes a week. Just say he makes $100. But keep in mind, hyperinflation. So he goes by fan belt and they want $225 for it. And then they debit his account for that. Excuse me. Let me tell you how to overcome that right there. And just a moment. I don't want to keep you hanging. I just want to get a little bit further in here. People are calling to their jobs daily to quit because they can't get there. And anyway, salaries are not enough to make a decent living, not even to be able to eat for a couple of days. I'm reading it right here. You are a professional with a wage or run a business that is quickly falling apart. You see on your way home families tearing up the garbage bag in the streets looking for something that's edible. Every day your kid arrives home with the news about some other school partner or program had to leave the country. I'm sorry, not program, but partner. Had to leave the country with his family. Well, why, if a kid doesn't show up to school, but you hear that he had to leave the country with his family, that is hogwash. that person either A, went on the streets to start surviving, or B, removed. One of the two. He didn't up and leave. He was taken out. And the medical attention is almost impossible to get with a salary. Doctors, nurses, dentists, and other healthcare professionals have left. You know, what do? You have to think outside the box to survive. If you keep thinking inside the box and hoping for all the things that they will improve, good luck. Chances are that is not going to happen this way. On the contrary, leaving out early will give you an edge over the rest of the people. I don't quite know what he's getting there. I'm not understanding a lot of what this guy's saying, really, but I'm trying to read it. Leaving out early will give you an edge over the rest of the people. I don't get that. But if you're a prepper, there comes a point after your preps have been consumed, and there is no way to keep living. In order to survive, you have to make choices, informed, calculated, firm, but somehow flexible decisions. This is not going to be easy, and you're not most likely going to end. And gathering around a bonfire singing Kumbaya and roasting hot dogs and marshmallows, that falls apart really quickly. There's, these things have been eaten. There's none left. So this guy's talking about what Venezuela's going through, and that he's never seen it this bad ever in 60 years at a minimum, and the government has completely fallen apart. And so what I'm going to tell you right now is worth its weight in gold. These words, and a lot of you already know this, but a lot of you don't. Silver. Look, if you have $100, silver today is a little less than $17 an ounce, about 16. It may cost you $17.50 if you go to someone reputable, someone that's not going to rip you off. Buy $100 worth of silver. But when you buy it, don't buy these big, bright, shiny silver ingots. Buy you dimes. Buy a wad of dimes. And then, when you go buy that fan belt, instead of paying him 2 weeks of wage and let him debit your card, give him 2 dimes and he'll be happy. I'm telling you the truth. Those 2 dimes will be worth a week's wage. Easy. And probably more so. Take what you can spare. If you can spare $22.50 a week for the next 2 or 3 months, or $35.25 a week for the next few months, buy silver, but buy it all in loose change. Dimes and quarters. Try to avoid $50. They'll kill you for $50 because that's worth a lot of money. And I'm talking about I'm talking about if you're walking around with loose change in your pocket, you don't want that. Not in a place where you're socialist and where Agenda 21 has taken fully hold of the country, which in Venezuela it has. So if you have some dimes and quarters, even nickels, hey, they'll go for that. They have a little bit of silver. That is it's more valuable than the gold. You're not going to be able to carry gold around with you. The smallest gold piece you can get is going to be $100, but it'll buy you a set of tires for your car, every new belt for your motor, and a few oil changes, and then 2 weeks worth of groceries. But yet you blew $100 when you could have gone there with a 25 cents and bargained and probably got as much. I'm talking about silver. I'm not talking about after this particular date silver. I'm talking about pre-silver, where the higher silver content is still there. That's a tip. Take it to the bank, and you'll be glad you did. Then, in that day, what cost you $60 today for 103 meals in a box container that has a 20-year shelf life, to find it then will cost you a month's salary. If you can find it, that's for one. But then, if you got a quarter, you can buy 2 of those containers. So you get my point. Okay, you got that. I just want to tell you that Trump, through our God, he's our stay of execution. He was put in place. He was brought up for this day, for this time, to come in and to take down those in this country who is taking down this country. He's doing it. And I'm going to tell you what, the second Kavanaugh comes in, they're going to start working on Roe versus Wade. But it's not going to be Kavanaugh. It's not going to be the other Supreme Court judges that's going to fight this battle with whoever they need to fight it with. This is God's battle. No one will be able to contradict a word God says. That will be reversed on the spot when God gets involved, and probably be fast track, extreme fast track. He is sick of us offering up to Baal every day food through our unborn babies, sacrifices to appease that's trying to destroy this country. The hell with Satan. We have a stay, as I said, and at best with Trump we have 6 years. I don't know who comes or what comes afterwards. My honest opinion, there'll not be an afterwards. There'll be, just like as quickly as Trump took down those things, they'll be put right back up by someone else. But they'll be put up in such a very harsh way. Agenda 21 will be hand delivered. I'm going to say easy within the first 90 days or less of the next administration, if they are not, if our people, but yet, what does that matter? According to Comey and Rosenstein and Mueller, what does people matter to them? Nothing. They're in charge. The people aren't. But we don't know what's going to happen after Trump. No one knows. My personal opinion that when Trump leaves, the church leaves. That's what I believe in all my heart. Those left behind, may God have mercy on you. Let me say this, Acts 19:15. The demon said to the exorcist, Paul I know, and Jesus I know, but who are you? Let me break that down a little bit. Jesus commanded everywhere he went, commanded the spirits out of his way. And all of them, I mean, have you come to punish us before our time? But yet when you have someone to try and cast a demon out of someone, then they speak, well, we don't know you. So let me tell you kind of where that is. The demons know the Christians. If you've accepted Christ, they know your name. If you've not accepted Christ, they don't know you. And why? They've already got you. Why should they get to know you? They own you already. This is where this place is headed. Not only the United States, and I'm talking about this planet. How many countries will shoot you down, will burn you alive in a cage because you speak Christianity? Well, you know they do it all over Iraq. You know, in border or in towns all throughout Iran they do that. In Turkey they do it. In Syria they do it. And even in Jordan, Saudi Arabia. So they don't have no love lost for Christians, but they have no idea what they're doing because they're going to live through the tribulation. They're not going to be lucky enough to die. They're going to live through the whole thing. The ones who are going to be lucky and die will be the ones who become Christians. But if you're a Christian today, the demons know you and they can't touch you. Not without your permission. And no Christian in their right mind will give a demon permission. But if you're not saved, they don't know you because they already own you. So we're in a good place today with Donald Trump. Thank God for Donald Trump. My prayer for so many years, 2 Chronicles 7:14, I've been praying that years before we were hearing it on TV about I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, but oh well, that's me. But anyway, 2 Chronicles 7:14 is, for the longest I thought that it had to be our government that would go to God and pray and ask God to forgive our sins and turn from our wicked ways, then he would heal our land. Jonathan Kahn and the Harbingers is what I was thinking. But for all these years, I've been praying that before I even heard what it meant. And it didn't have to be the government to pray that prayer. It had to be me, and it had to be other Christians like you. That should make you feel good, that we have the power, that we have prayer that backs up. And if you know Christ, then he's on your side. And God looks at you and he sees you whiter than the snow today. Stay the course. And Jennifer, thank you. And guys, get you a little bit of silver. That silver will be so much peace of mind. Not that we'll ever need it. Christians, I believe I'll be gone out of here long before that day will come before me. I may be wrong. That may be what the Venezuelans thought too. And it came upon them. I don't know. But I'm safe and I'm ready. I can handle it. Jody Wolf Expoz.